troublemakers for the government. Like me, dia tangkap lah. Tidak Pak, tangkap pun keluar juga. If you are strong, you continue to fight even stronger. So here, the people of Sarawak, I think you are better off because there are so many people here who knows about the rights of Sarawak, who wants to take responsibility, who wants to do something about it. We have lawyers like Peruvian. We have experts like Nicholas Cowley and people who can advise us in terms of our legal rights, like Daniel Tajam, a lot more in the civil service who are familiar with our rights and our problems. So today is a very important day for you. Forget what Kuala Lumpur said. That was Dr. Mahathir. I hope Pala has a different attitude, although the whole system is still the same. You know, you may change leaders. Mahathir now, Yahweh. Maybe later on Najib. But if the whole system and the idea, the concept of federal state relation is still the same, you will not change anything. Even if you make noise, even if you shout. So the only thing that is important is if you not only change the leaders, but you need to change the system, and most important, you change the government, change the leaders. I think that is the best way, because you cannot do it just by going to court. If the whole system is the same, because the court may be subservient to the government, and the court may take orders from the government, and so the decision may not favor us, even though we have the right. So we have to change the government, but changing the government is not easy, and you have to ask yourself which government should we change? Is it the federal government or only the state government? Okay? At the moment, if you talk about changing the state government, because land is under the state, you can actually change the policy and change decisions, you know, find more justice. But the problem is, in our system of federal state government, most of the power is centered in the federal government. Even if land is under the state, but the court is under the federal system. Even though there is supposed to be a High Court of Borneo, in which we are supposed to have the judicial power, but if you look at the whole judiciary, it is actually under the Attorney General, Federal Attorney General. And the Federal Attorney General is under the executive. So meaning that the separation of powers is not there. And therefore, even if there is a High Court of Borneo and a High Court of Malaya, and even though under the Malaysia Agreement we have certain state rights, it cannot function. We cannot do away and go ahead with any state decision, even if we are state government, without considering total picture of the Federation of Malaysia, because we are in the Federation. Therefore, I think when we talk about changing the government, we have to talk about changing both the federal and the state government. In this case, it's very important because we have to, we have to look for new policies. I give an example. we changed the state government of Sabah long time ago under Parti Bersatu Sabah. And we go ahead with certain state decisions. We try to collect our own revenue, proceed with our own development and so on. Then what happened? The federal government mobilized the system. They created the Federal Jabatan Pembangunan Persekutuan. What happened? They channel all the fund there, and there is a parallel system. The government, more or less, because we are a developing state, and when you create a machinery, a powerful government machinery controlled by the federal in the state, you actually paralyzing the state. You are duplicating and you are mobilizing resources which is not under the state control. So what happened? Pembangunan was frustrated. They channel the fund there under their control. State only controls certain segment of development. Second, they removed the chief minister from being pengurusi of the State Security Council in the state. So you have no more control of security. Okay, and so you are frustrated because there is you don't control the whole machinery of government in the state. And eventually they send the IRD, ACA, ISA. To weaken the government. And not enough, they will support another political party to go against the state government, and eventually the state government falls. So learn from some experience. So if you want to change the government, yes, by all means go ahead, but not only here, but you have to change the federal government as well. And there is no other time in history, no other person in history able to mobilize the national political party that is so much wanted by us than today, where we can now say that there is a real chance of forming an alternative government at the federal level. Not before the last 50 years, but today we can say, because now there is a strong opposition at the national level, and we have Dr. Sri Anwar Ibrahim, leader of the government before, to be a potential Prime Minister to set the agenda for a two-party system in Malaysia. And this is our chance. And there is never in history, for the last 50 years, somebody who can succeed to say, forget about this system, we need to create a new system, not based on race and religion, divide and rule, but based on justice, based on universal principles of human justice, based on human, principle of